Hey guys, little preview that we did a few weeks ago over Christmas. We talked about the fact that me and my son Jack were rebuilding our family golf cart, and we put a Mad Jack Storm body kit on it. We stripped it all the way down to the frame. I'll show you some footage and some video of that now. We went whole hog on it, took it down. There was some rust, some surface rust, a few little patches I had to cut out and weld some new metal into, and we painted it with rust prevention paint, new batteries, upgraded plumb quick motor. I think it speaks for itself. It turned out really nice. A friend of mine had an older EZGO TXT golf cart that's been on his property for a while, and I thought, you know, let's do it again. So when I bought the parts for our family golf cart, it was easier, cheaper to buy two at the same time. It made financial sense to do so, so I thought, you know, let's do another one. So here's how the family one turned out. Which brings us on to our new project. Now, this is a 2009 36 volt TXT. It is the PDS model, so it has the better controller and the forward reverse switch up front here. And she's a bit of a basket case. The rear end is toast, the motor was toast. It was actually used as like a facilities cart, I believe. It came off a golf course at one point, but she's pretty beat up. Bald tyres. Yeah, she's pretty messed up. So let's take her around to the shop, and we'll drill the body off. We'll have a look at the condition of the frame, get underneath her, see to what extent we're going to have to clean the frame up, if any painting is necessary, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're here in the shop. First thing we're going to do, we're going to remove the front window strut assembly, the roof, the seats, and this rear assembly here, and then we'll look at removing the body. All right, let's dive in. Excuse the noise, the boys are out there making a box fort. This is a 13mm. Hey Jack. You got a second, buddy? Yeah. Just grab that for me, please. Thank you. Yep.
Levels of vibration.
Okay, so now that's removed, we've got the hardware which we're going to retain, all the same length. Top ones do have these spacers, so make sure you keep hold of those. I like to put everything in a Ziploc bag, right on it.
I have an idea. Well, alright, so what if we put that inside of here? What if we put that box inside of here?
Okay. Okay, so this rear assembly is held on with 14mm bolts. Just going to pull this whole thing off in one assembly. have been smart to use a long reach socket for this. Now we're going to retain these for later, depending on the rear seat kit that you get. Sometimes they come with them, sometimes they don't, so it's best to keep them just in case. And again, I'll put these in a Ziploc bag and write on them, so I know what they are later. Okay, so that's the rear seat assembly off and the front strut, so we're getting there now. As you can see, I'd already swapped out the motor when I first got this. It did actually sound like the motor was faulty, but turned out it is actually the bearings in the differential, so we'll get to that a little bit later. For right now, we're going to remove the body, and it's held on in a few different places. We're going to have to remove the side rocker panels. For that, there's a rivet there, there's a rivet there, and then these are screwed and bolted from underneath. For the front section, there's 7 pop rivets there that need to be drilled out. Same thing on the other side, here, here. Once we remove the rocker panels, then we'll be able to get the mat up, and underneath there's a few pop rivets there. Pop rivet. This I already removed. I actually needed these for our family golf cart, so those are actually on order as we speak. And then as we come around the back, 2 plugs here that we need to remove, and then actually 4, and then there's 4 bolts there, and then this body should lift off. This actually had actually has a tow bar on it, so that's secured there, so we'll have to remove that also. Alright, let's dive in. Wow, and the good news is really solid here. That's awesome. So these rivets, I've had good success just punching these out. Do it now, because otherwise when you get the body on, if you forget, it's a nightmare. Save your drills, don't try to drill those out, just punch them through. This is a 3/16 punch. So this side's pretty well prepped. In fact, while we're here, may as well just catch these body rivets. Cool. On to the next side. Okay, so let's pop these little the Storm body kit. These aren't actually required later, but we'll keep them because you never know. We don't like to throw hardware away. Okay, grab a wrench. And you'll need a 10mm socket for this. Okay, and then we'll bag these up. Alright, so now we're going to disconnect the charge port. So as always, controller into tow mode. This is a 1/2 inch socket. Now I'm going to leave the the actual controller connected because I'm going to run this around the back of the property and cover it up. So the next time I get to play with this. Okay, your positive and negative from the charge port, and then down here we have a red wire, it's just a spade connector. Ultimately that is your interlock so that you can't move the cart while the cart is on charge. Okay, some wire cutters which break free these cable ties. We can remove the charge port from the vehicle. Okay, so along the top of the dash panel here. Now, we need to be careful with this because obviously we don't want to mar up the dash panel. Okay, so last but not least on the front here, on this guard. We have 2 rivets, and then at the top there's 2 10mm bolts. Yep, and we'll see if they're captive. They are not. Grab the wrench. And those are just 2 10mm tech screws and penny washers. And then technically we should be able to remove the front cowl now. Ha! Okay. Let me show you this. So, behind the EZGO emblem, this was slightly different on my last one, whether it had been modified. You can see it there. Down at the front there is two fastenings, or two fasteners behind the EZGO emblem, so let's have a go at trying to remove that. Now, while I'm sure there's a more elegant way of doing this, this is kind of sacrificial, so I am going a little bit ham. Oh, and there you go. Pop straight out, revealing two more pop rivets behind there. And off she comes. Okay, so what we are left with is a very, very dirty golf cart. Okay, so next thing that we can do, probably the last thing that we'll do in this episode. Actually, what is that? Oh! That's cool. Pete Dye Golf Club. We'll look at that a little later. Oh, and a pen. And some leaves. So what we can do is we can remove this, and we can remove this shield off the front, like that. Let's remove this, and then we can have a good look at her. Okay, so under here, I'm trying to remove this. Under here we have a fix in here, so I pushed pin there. And you have to excuse me, this is my first time using the GoPro and I didn't realise how quickly the batteries go down, so I'm carrying along a mobile charger. So under here we also have another push pin, and then there's two more in there, and those are inside the little glove compartments inside of here. So inside of here, so you can't see that. There, so I'll just get a trim tool and remove those 5 pins, and then we'll go from there. Okay, with those push pins removed, I should just be able to pull her out. There we go. Something else that isn't required with the Storm body kit is this front brace. Again, 2 10mm bolts will remove those. Go ahead and do that in a second. Okay, so what we're left with is actually an extremely clean golf cart. Yes, there's lots of dirt. This thing was used, I believe, as a utility cart. It's pretty filthy. We'll start the next episode with degreasing all of this. I do have new tie rods, or tie rod ends. We'll clean up all these knuckles, grease as appropriate. Shocks look good on this. Again, we'll disconnect them. We're going to change all the bushings. You see the bushing down here is completely shot. We will be putting a 6-inch lift on this, so the whole of this front weldment is going to go. I've got some new springs for it, some heavy duty springs. Wiring looks good. Here we have the reverse buzzer, forward and reverse switch, and obviously the key switch. We will be replacing this as well for, oh, there's my daughter. We'll be replacing this for an updated model. It's going to have a voltage display on there as well as a USB charger. Again, nothing too scary, hardly any rust. In fact, no rust on the front end here, which is quite unusual. Don't really see any surface rust at all, which is remarkable. That's superb. These are known for rusting, so yeah, you can see a little bit of surface rust, but we'll go ahead and wire wheel all of this, and I like to go ahead and just spray some rust prevention paint on these EZGO bodies with the steel frame. Going around the back, again, we've got the new motor. We will have to remove the entire rear axle on this. It does need a full rebuild, so we'll remove that. At the same time, we'll install the new heavy duty springs and the lift kit on the back. Yeah, and then I think we'll take it from there. We are going to do a full rebuild on this. We'll make it like it's brand new. So in the next episode, we'll pull the batteries, we'll pull the motor, we'll give her a good wash. We'll go over with a detail brush and the degreaser, clean it right up. Any rust that we see, we'll take care of. Don't think this is going to need any welding. The Achilles heel of all of these TXT golf carts in particular is the battery tray. As you all know, over the years with the batteries charging, they do off gas, and sometimes people overfill them and they do leak, and all of that goes down underneath into the battery tray, which is mild steel. So we'll see when we remove the batteries what the state of the battery tray is, but I'm feeling good about this right now, because the only thing that I can see is a little bit of surface rust there. There isn't really even any pitting, but we'll clean those up with a wire wheel and we'll take a look. My daughter's doing some power washing now, so a bit of extra footage. Let's wash some of this.
You got my heart, nobody gonna take it over. You got my soul, nobody gonna tell me different.